managed.
In just 8 days, the state of Nevada is set to execute a convicted killer.
Scott Dozier has said repeatedly he is ready to die, but defense attorneys want to make sure he does not suffer.
Today, both sides were back in court, still arguing over how he would be executed.
News 3's Denise Rosh following the case. And Denise, we learned Friday the chief medical officer for the state had resigned.
Yeah, and Maureen, here's what the defense is worried about, that the acting CMO is a psychiatrist. He is not an anesthesiologist, and the doctor who will actually oversee the execution, well, he's not an anesthesiologist either. He is in family medicine, so it is up to the judge to make sure that these drugs will be administered properly and that the death of Scott Dozier is not cruel and unusual punishment.
I think that the one thing that we appear to agree on is just that no one wants a botched execution.
David Anthony says there's no shame in hitting the pause button. The assistant federal public defender looking out for the interests of Scott Dozier, the convicted killer who stated in the past he's ready to die. Here he is from September.
I will gladly write you a letter every single week, just letting you know nothing has changed between now and then. I'll write it every Sunday.
The state is ready to move forward November 14th, administering a never-before-used 3-drug cocktail. After hearing from an anesthesiologist on Friday, the defense worries that one of those drugs, a paralytic, would cause Dozier to suffocate. Judge Jennifer Tagliati.
There's nothing wrong with the protocol as it stands now, if it's done right. If the dosing is done right, if the administration is done right.
Still, Anthony points to another execution from 2014 out of Arizona, the lethal injection death of Joseph Wood, taking more than 2 hours. Some witnesses describing Wood as gasping for air, something Dozier's team is trying to avoid.
After the botch that we're talking about from the Wood case, that brought executions in Arizona to a standstill.
But according to the state of Nevada, the decision to stop next week's execution sits with one person, the defendant himself, a man convicted for the 2007 murder of 22-year-old Jeremiah Miller, whose dismembered body was found in a suitcase tossed in a dumpster at a Las Vegas apartment complex.
If Mr. Dozier says he wants to stay, Mr. Dozier can say that.
And on Wednesday, the judge will hear from Scott Dozier one more time. He will appear in court via video conference to discuss all of these issues. The judge wants to make sure one more time that he understands everything that has to do with the drugs and the prison protocols before he is executed. Reporting live, I'm Denise Rosh for News 3. Let's go back to you in the studio.
All right, legal battle we will continue to track throughout the week. Denise.